Good evening. Welcome to the 2019 annual meeting of Main Street Medina. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Steve Ferris. I'm with Discount Drug Mart here in town. I also serve as the Main Street Medina board chair for this past year, 2018. First order of business is an approval of last year's minutes from the board meeting. So I'm seeking, there's some minutes circulating here. I'm seeking a motion to approve last year's minutes. Mr. Wright, so moved. Carole with a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Well, thanks again for coming. Again, my name's Steve Ferris. Kimberly's got the minutes if anybody really wants to dig through them. I'd first like to introduce Medina Mayor Dennis Hanwell. With any partnership and any collaboration, we couldn't do what we do without the city and the mayor's support. They've been a great partner to Main Street Medina. He's committed to the program, our mission, and we couldn't be in better hands than with Medina Mayor Dennis Hanwell. Thank you.
Thanks. Good evening. Thanks, Steve and Matt, for inviting me. Thank you all for attending. When I talk about Medina, I talk about how special it is. Before I get started, Councilman Paul Rose is here as well, Councilman at large, and Council's been a real supporter of Main Street for the city. When I talk about Medina, I talk about how special it is, and that's not by accident. And I'm going to share with you just a couple of thoughts about what makes Medina so special. Main Street is the reason you're here tonight. Main Street is one of the main reasons that Medina is so special. Without the Main Street program, without the events downtown, without the draw to our downtown community, we would not have the success that we have. And our program has been used, and Joe can correct me if I'm wrong, has been used as a model across the state of how Main Street programs and how collaborations in communities should work. And I think that's a testament, I don't think, that is a testament to what we've been doing. When I took over as mayor, one of the first things I did is challenge Matt, which became a problem for me, as you'll soon find out, that everybody was happy with the events, everybody was happy with the activity downtown, but they wanted more, right? More, bigger events, more people, more frequency. So I challenged Matt to that, and of course Matt then responds, but I'm only one man, right? So I committed to him at that time, taking over as mayor, the city would do whatever we needed to do, from the service department to the parks department to our staff at City Hall, to support him in any way we could. And in my mind, that is the difference that pushed Main Street Medina and the success of the downtown to the point that it is today. And the point that it is today, we have financial and in-kind support, not only from the city, but for many of the corporate and private sponsors. The city provides the permits to Main Street without any fees. We have business participation, local civic organizations helping out. We partner with the city schools, the County of Medina. Commissioner Bill Hudson is here as well. Thank you, Bill, for the county's support. And last but surely not least is many of you, the multitude of volunteers, because these programs could not exist with the paid staff of the city or the paid staff of Main Street Medina. It takes all the volunteers to come up to help decorate the square, to organize it, to set the tables up, and make the things happen. As a result of all of this, the square is very vibrant and at 100% occupancy. And what I've noticed here in the last 5 years is when vacancies occur, not only is it not hard to fill it, but there are 4 to 5 to 6 sometimes businesses wanting to get in there. which then has led to redevelopment of the chamber site by Dr. Raymond, redevelopment of the Farmers Exchange. Charles Marshall is here from Beacon Marshall, and we sure appreciate, Charles, your investment and the great plans for down there. And the third thing is the state recognized the city for what we were doing with Main Street and the events downtown and how important that was, to the point of giving us $1 million grant to put towards a second parking deck, which is going to go between Sully's patio and the Federal Chambers, which is the brick building at the corner, northeast corner of Elmwood and Liberty there. But we didn't want to build that parking deck right out to the sidewalk and literally shut down any future retail growth. So we shared with council our vision of saving the 80 feet, build the parking deck behind that, and save the 80 feet from the patio to the Federal Chambers so we can have some more commercial space downtown and residential up above. There's going to be residential at the Farmers Exchange, there's residential at the Chamber property, and there'll be residential at this new property that the city has. And when we did the comprehensive downtown plan, that was one of the things that was identified, that we need housing, 200 to 300 units within walking distance of the downtown. And you can see once the city found that out, we're pecking away at trying to accomplish that, and we're hoping that our redevelopment of the north side of West Liberty will prompt development on the south side of West Liberty, and we will just continue that momentum. We've expanded the Main Street. In fact, I was asking Joe at lunch, have any other Main Street programs expanded their region? And she said, well, a number have wanted to, but we've dissuaded them from doing so because they weren't doing so good with what they have already. I said, well, what about our proposal to go down to Lafayette Road and include Broadway to Huntington? And she said, you guys are ready for it. You guys are ready for it. And we're proud of that. And that's thanks to the work of everybody in this room, thanks to Matt, thanks to all the volunteers, the Main Street Board. Steve's done a great job as the chair of the board, and we've had great leadership, and the city of Medina is thankful, and we're blessed with everything Main Street does for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. That was nice. As the mayor says, it takes a great team, and the mayor has some of his team here. I see Kimberly Marshall with the city. Jonathan Mendel is here somewhere. Both are very active with Main Street Medina Board, as is Barbara Deser, who's not here tonight. But the three of them, together with the mayor, help us make a great team at Main Street Medina. Next up is our treasurer's year-end report, and to give that report is Kevin Rich, our treasurer, and many of you know Kevin to be with Huntington Bank as well. Kevin.
Good evening, everyone. Again, I'm Kevin Rich with Huntington Bank here in Medina. And tonight, those that sit on the board get to hear me usually go over a great deal of numbers, and I'm not going to bore you all with that tonight. I get made fun of a little bit because all of a sudden I occupy most of the meeting when we have a board meeting, at least the executive one. I delay everything, but haven't had a crowd like this since I was a scoutmaster. I was a scoutmaster for many years, so you're a much older group than what I'm used to working with. But thank you again all for coming to our annual meeting tonight, an awards celebration for Main Street Medina. I'm blessed to be the treasurer for both Main Street Medina and the Main Street Management, which better known for most of you as the farmers market part. We do break it apart. When I was thinking about what I was going to say tonight, it came up with wow, and that's all I can say about Main Street Medina. What a great year to be treasurer for Main Street Medina, and you'll hear that in a few minutes. It's so many amazing things happened in 2018 for Main Street Medina. Really fun to be a treasurer. I've been waiting for this evening to come for about the last 2 weeks when we finally got our financials in from our CPA who does them. I was like a child waiting for Christmas to come around because the news was so exciting because I couldn't wait for this evening to come here so I could share it all with you. The financials I have to share tonight, which are going to be very brief, are all very, very positive and super motivating for Main Street Medina for 2019. I'm proud to report the organization has a strong cash position right now. We have over $100,000 on deposit at year end in 2018. That's quite a foundation to work from and work with. We're doing extremely well. That's our cash position. We began 2018 coming off of, unfortunately, a negative net profit in 2017. We had lost $13,000 in 17, and the organization made such a swing. It was amazing. So I'm proud to report 2018, our net profit was $36,392. The number that came along with that was our percentage of improvement. I'm a financial lender, and I've never seen this in a company before, let alone a company in 1 year. But our improvement over 2017 was 3,692%. I had to look at that number a few times and say, was that correct? That is a correct number. So we improved 3,692% as an organization over the previous year. What a great organization to be part of. We had many great successful things that happened to help us overcome our loss in 2017. Just to name a couple of them, the design committee, they went fantastic. Our merchandise sales increased 146% over the previous year. 146%. These are triple-digit numbers. Thank you to that group. Matt couldn't keep enough ornaments on the shelves. We sold out of Christmas ornaments, had to reorder, and then they sold out again. There was talk that we probably could have sold more. The promotions committee, this one's an amazing number. Their gross profits, and the promotion committee is the one that we make our money from. They're the ones that work with the sponsors and so forth. Our gross profits were almost $200,000 in 2018. They were $198,000. That's $57,000 greater than what we took in 17 in our promotions. The income from these events would help us achieve what we've done through the year. None of this could have been possible without the hard work and dedication from all the members and helpers at each one of our events. Speaking of the membership, how do we do it? Matt and I have had conversations. I don't know how we do it as a group, but our membership continues to grow from year to year. Even though we do lose some every year, we still grow to a positive. So the ones that we lost, we replace, and we still get some new ones on top of those. We now have a solid membership going into 2019. We continue year after year to get new members. It's an outstanding job. Our membership in 2018 brought in revenue of over $72,000, which has been our best year ever. Much of the success in 2018 came from our generous sponsors. The sponsorship that we get make it possible for us to present the outstanding experience for our guests to attend when they come to town or come up to the square. They truly could not have happened without all your support. I know many of you are here tonight. And again, I'd like to thank you for your sponsorships, how you've helped us in the past year and previous years. Much of the success, though, of Main Street Medina needs to be given to our Executive Director, Matt Wiederhold. As treasurer, I don't believe we could be where we're at today if he was not in the position that he's in. He's dedicated, and his direction leads us each event. The tireless time and commitment that he gives to each event goes beyond your wildest imagination. He's always there and never standing still. I don't think I've ever seen him stand this still as this long. Matt, thank you for what you've done for the Main Street Medina. Now on to Main Street Management. Again, that is our farmers market group. They also had a very busy and successful year with nice growth. New to them this past year was a midweek market they held. They also did a couple of little events at Medina Hospital. I guess that's Cleveland Clinic. I'm old. I still refer to it as Medina Hospital. Their net profits were also an amazing number in 2018. They showed a 110% improvement in 2018 over 2017. They showed a small net profit, but it was a profit. It was $1,300 because they also had to dig out of the red in 2017 at year end and overcome that deficit, which they did nicely. as well as Matt. Much of the success has to be given to Nancy Romans. She's here tonight, Nancy. Thank you. Her hard work each Saturday at the market, and it's not just Saturdays, it's her other days that she's leading up to and preparing for the farmers market on Saturday. Much also to the success of the farmers market is also due to the outstanding relationship, and the mayor stole this from me already, but from the city of Medina and the park services. Without their help and understanding, we wouldn't have such a great story to say tonight. They both make our organization a shining gem in Medina. Matt had a very hard year in 2018 as he had to run the organization very lean and with many questions. I asked about each expense, and I mean each expense. Nothing slipped by without me asking. Matt was always there and was prepared for my questions and had my answers. You know how bankers can be. We ask a lot of questions at times. The running very lean in 2018 has now set us up for a very successful and profitable year in 2019 and many years to come, I believe. Thank you again, everyone, for making Main Street Medina one of the most outstanding organizations in Heritage, Ohio. We're truly one of a kind in Medina. Thank you.
You weren't kidding, that was 20 pages, double space. Just kidding, that was great, Kevin. We had a great year, and we leaned on Kevin to let you know about it, so we appreciate that, Kevin. We are indebted to you. As he said, he does go over each line item as he does in his own way, and he's special to us in the organization, so thank you, Kevin. Next up is Carole Kowell to give us a nominating committee report. As she makes her way up here, I just wanted to thank, Kevin mentions the executive committee. Carole came off last year as chair. I'm chair this year. So between Carole and myself, Kevin Rich, Rob Henwood is our vice chair this past year, and Kimberly Marshall is our secretary. So I want to publicly thank you guys for the hard work, and together with Carole coming off and me coming on, it's been a real smooth transition, and we appreciate that. So Carole.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Steve. I'd like to read to you the proposed Board of Directors and Officers for Main Street Medina for 2019. Running for a first three-year Board of Directors term, which is 2019 to 2021, is Kelly Parks from Medina Center for Dance, Eric Stasiowski from the Timken Company. Should I ask for any other nominations for those? Are there any other nominations anyone from the floor would like to make? Okay, hearing none. Running for the first three-year term, ex officio term, 2019 to 2021, is Jessica Hazeltine from the Serente Recovery Center of Medina County. We don't need to pass out ballots since there's no write-in votes, so maybe a show of hands or voices for, let's do the first three-year Board of Directors terms for Kelly Parks and Eric Stasiowski. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, congratulations, Kelly and Eric. Could I have, well, Jessica's running by herself, so I guess she's elected. Congratulations, Jessica. Okay. That was easy. Okay. Running for re-election for a second three-year term, 2019 to 2021, is Ed Wright from Miss Molly's Tea Room and Gift Shop, Michelle Nichols from Medina Community Design Committee. Are there any other, well, no, they're running for second term, so all in favor for those, Ed Wright and Michelle, say aye, please. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, congratulations, Ed and Michelle. Next, I'd like to read you the 2019 proposed board officers. For chairperson, Steve Ferris, Discount Drug Mart. Vice chairperson, Rob Henwood, Medina County Planning Director. For secretary, Kimberly Marshall, City of Medina Economic Development Director. And treasurer, Kevin Rich from Huntington Bank. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, congratulations, officers. Thank you.
Congratulations, everybody. Looking forward to working with you in 2019. Just a little quick background on the nominating committee. So we had unusual position. We had two openings. We had 5 applicants. And so we held 2 meet and greets, which was a great opportunity for us to sort of answer questions and get questions. And I think it's something we'll do going forward. Next year, there's 3 slots that'll open up. So kudos to the nominating committee led by Carole and a few others in the room tonight for their hard work on finding us 2 real good candidates. So next up is our guest speaker. We're all familiar with the good work of Cups Cafe. I'd like to introduce Tim Van Arsdale. Tim, there you go.
It's a privilege to be here. I have some exciting news to announce. We've been open 11 years now. Can you believe it? Yeah. Cups Cafe opened its doors in November 2007, and just as Mayor Hanwell has spoken, it's a very special part of the community and a special community. And what makes it unique, if you haven't been there, you know, I guess there's a couple pictures here, but when I get a chance to present in front of a group, I'd like to get you to try to imagine, if you've never walked in the building, your favorite coffee shop and mom's kitchen. That's really the environment that we've tried to create at Cups. A very warm, comfortable place, a safe place for guests to come and get something. And what makes it super unique is everything is free. We do not charge for anything. We are open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, Saturdays, 11 to 1. We are super busy, serving almost 70 people a day. If you do the math, I mean, that's over 1,000 people a month. We also put on special meals during the year. We have a Christmas Day breakfast. We've had a Thanksgiving morning breakfast. We have some churches and organizations that come in and do hot meals in the evenings, which kind of can extend our hours a little bit. And our numbers, when I say like about 70 a day, that's like 30, 40 adults from like 10 to 2. And then usually like 30, 40 teenagers after school. It is just boom. Middle school, high school gets out, kids everywhere, backpacks flying, you know, it's an amazing, special place. A lot of the people that we serve, you know, are facing great food insecurity. And a lot of these kids don't have food at home. There is a need. You know, what we can offer as a cafe nonprofit ministry is we really can kind of fill in the gap and supplement what Feeding Medina County is doing. Where are you going to go to have lunch at noon if you're, you know, there's no food at home, or if you find yourself homeless? Cups is there. It's all run by volunteers. We have community service people through the courts that volunteer in due time and help clean. We have a small pantry that dispenses food, and we have a small homeless fund people can donate to. If we hear of a need, working with Medina Metropolitan Housing and Salvation Army, United Way, other agencies, we can kind of maybe put somebody up in a hotel room for a night or 2. We also have set up a scholarship fund through Medina City Schools Foundation. It's a community service scholarship fund, so if a student's done volunteer hours, they can write a paragraph and submit it, and we give them a little scholarship for college. So the cafe is kind of doing quite a bit to really support our young people and families in need. It really is making a difference. It's making a difference for a young man named Isaiah. He's 21. He was a foster kid, abandoned by his family, bounced around from shelters and foster homes and orphanages. And now he is on his own with an apartment working full-time. But he's just one kid, no family. And he comes in every day for lunch before he goes to Home Depot to push carts. For Isaiah, the cafe makes a difference. It's making a difference for a young man named Matt. He's one of our students. He goes to the Evolve Academy here in Medina. Stops in every day, you know, and he's told us so many times how there's not a lot of food at home. And there's no place where I really feel special and welcome except when I come here to the cafe. He continues to challenge me in games of pool and loses miserably every day after school. But he's getting better. His shot is improving. But for Matt, it makes a difference. This fall, we had a couple. They were actually living in a tent in the woods, young couple, working on sobriety, you know, so that's part of their situation. And every day they would come in every morning when we opened the doors at 10, smelling like a campfire because they'd been out in the cold. But they had warm food to eat, a hot meal, and a warm place to go, and restrooms that they could use, get off of the street for a bit, collect themselves. For them, the cafe makes a difference. Every day, a young person or an adult who's maybe struggling with food insecurity gets to eat. That makes a difference for those people living in their cars. Every day that someone is there to kind of listen and care for them, you know, show some compassion and kindness, it absolutely makes a difference. So it's a very, very special place. It's an honor to be the director of this incredible ministry here in Medina. We can't operate without a community like Medina, the churches, businesses, organizations, individuals who contribute. I am not going to be able to name them all, but what I'm learning running a nonprofit is free is not cheap. It's very expensive. And when you're relying 100% on contributions, it's a challenge. We receive from, I'm going to skip some of you guys. I'm sorry if I forget you, but I mean everybody from Sandridge to Bueller's to Panera, Courthouse Pizza, Cupcake a Day, Circles on the Square, PJ Marley's, Cool Beans. The list goes on and on. Even just moms and dads who want to bake and bring in a hot meal for us to serve our guests during the day. But we rely completely on donations from businesses and individuals and organizations. The Medina City Schools donate all of their milks, food that the kids don't eat off the lunchroom. We go pick it up every Friday, bring it to the cafe, and just give it to kids and people and distribute it to other agencies. So it's just a really incredible ministry. If you would like to get involved, see me afterwards. I have some business cards. If you have a business, you got some leftover food, you have a restaurant or anything, supplies, napkins, you know, we rely 100% on all that. So please come and see me if you would like to get involved. Thank you, Matt, for allowing me to come and share. It's a blessing to be part of this community. Thank you.
It is my great honor and privilege to introduce a personal friend and coworker, Frances Jo Hamilton from Heritage, Ohio. Jo and I first met in 2008 when she was the Main Street manager for Delaware, Ohio, and I was the new guy on the block here in Medina. And we had a lot of similarities and struck up a great friendship. And it's been fantastic for me to watch my friend grow and become the state coordinator for the Main Street programs. And it's just an honor to have you here again reviewing our program. So thank you for being here, and we look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Thanks. So for those of you that don't know me, in 1999, I had just bought my second historic home in Delaware, Ohio, and my neighbors across the street from me came over to my porch one day and said, "We're starting this new Main Street thing. And we'd really wondered if you would do some walking tours in the downtown of Delaware." My grandma was a building and business owner there her whole life. I had a lot of little family stories about the downtown. And at that particular time, I was taking all the public speaking courses I could get my hands on to try to get over this deathly fear of public speaking. Turns out you never get over that. You just wear clothes that nobody can tell you're sweating through them. So that's how I got involved in my local Main Street program. And I spent a lot of time being a chairperson for the design committee in perpetuity. I spent a lot of time being a board member, spent a lot of time seeing executive directors come and go. But the great part is that I got to give my personal time to something that really mattered to me. I always tell my programs, we don't get recess anymore. As grown-ups, how do we make friends? We make friends because we come around the same table together, we give our personal time, we spend our personal time together, we commune together, and we build friendships that way. It's a great way to be involved in your community, and the lasting effects on me are that now not only do I get to continue to help this Ohio Main Street program in my own community, but I get to go to all the communities, and this is actually my job. I wake up every day thinking, wow, this is actually my job. So it's terrific to sit around the table with your board of directors. I don't know how many of you have had the opportunity to maybe sit in on a board meeting, but I would encourage you to maybe talk to the board president, talk to Matt, sit in on a board meeting. I get to be in a lot of communities, and I've been in super uncomfortable board meetings where no one says anything. I've also participated in conflict resolution and played mediator in communities when two organizations are not getting along and they're trying to figure out what's our role and how do we operate here. Those are the kinds of things I really love to do on a personal level because I like to problem solve. But coming into Medina, it's just, it reinvigorates in me everything that I love about the Main Street program. Your numbers are there. You all can see the numbers, but I hope that you see the personal relationships that are here and how passionate the people are that are around the table. And it's so exciting for me when I'm sitting with your board of directors and they say, we remember what you said last year and we already started doing those things. That doesn't happen very often, folks. Organizationally speaking, it's really hard to build that kind of health into a community. It's hard to have the collaborative nature that happens here and seems to happen so seamlessly when the mayor says, Matt, I'll do whatever you need me to do. I just want to clone you and put you in every single one of my communities. I mean, seriously. So when we can just sit at lunch and sort of have the conversation that I often have with my managers, which is, how's your work-life balance? This is a job that can kind of swallow you up if you let it. And so seeing how protective you all are of your executive director even, and affording him the ability to do the things that only he can do and to only do the things that he can do. So that this group of volunteers is under him and really bolstering up the organization and making sure that everything is happening. You all have done a fantastic job. It is my sincere pleasure to give you your national accreditation for 2018. You're doing great things, and if I'm struggling with anything, it's always the struggle of how can this program improve? Right? It's really hard for me to sort of come up with things that I can say for you all to do better, because I feel like you're almost like 5 steps ahead of me on that thought process always. So thanks so much for allowing me to be involved in your process and just to continue to do all the things that I really love to do with people who love to do it too. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis. Appreciate those kind words. Next up, I'd like to introduce Matt Wiederhold, our executive director. Kevin stole a little bit of my thunder here, so I won't go into this too much, but we're glad to have him back. He was gone for a short term, but he's back, bigger and better than ever. We had a great year, as Kevin said. We've got big ideas for 2019. I won't spoil Matt's report, but I'll give you our executive director, Matt Wiederhold.
Well, thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you here tonight, and thank you for certifying our accreditation. I'm very happy that we achieved that together as a team. 2018 marked the bicentennial of the city of Medina, and Main Street Medina was an active partner in the celebration, to which we're very thankful to be involved with that. After years of consideration, thanks to catalytic projects such as the Farmers Exchange renovation and the new headquarters of Medina County Habitat for Humanity, our district footprint was expanded in 2018 to include the area known as Southtown. We're excited to include these businesses in the Main Street program to see how we can continue the success that we've had in the historic district. The membership committee had a very active year in 2018 and created a marketing campaign to promote the intangible benefits of supporting Main Street Medina. We're also honored to be chosen by Ohio Magazine as one of the best hometowns for 2018 and 2019. We believe that our success is attributed to the strong collaboration between the City of Medina, Main Street Medina, the Chamber, the Visitors Bureau, and so many others. 2018 was a year of big numbers and successes for Main Street Medina, but one number of which we are most proud is the record $1.5 million of economic impact that our events have brought to the district and the community. Normally, being a sellout is not necessarily considered a great thing, but in 2018, the design committee set a record for the most successful holiday ornament sales ever, selling out 750 ornaments created through the committee and honoring the bicentennial and the architecture of the district. The membership committee also created a very unique membership recruitment tool with the 2019 Historic Medina Calendar, which we have on sale for $10 when you leave, which was also a very strong seller for the program. What was really cool about this is they came up with the idea that if you bought a calendar, you would get a one-year individual membership to Main Street Medina free. It's been a great tool. We are close to selling out the calendars, and I think we've added probably another 60 to 70 members to Main Street Medina. Outstanding events have always been the backbone of Main Street Medina, and we're always happy to meet that challenge by Mayor Hanwell. And in 2018, our events brought at least 150,000 guests to the city of Medina. Now, these are just events done by Main Street Medina. This isn't including the thousands of people that come to the square every Saturday throughout the season for the farmers market as well. One thing, a couple quick things I want to say. During the bicentennial, I received an email and a call from this gentleman named Ty Brook. He was very interested in what we were doing. He was very positive. He sent in a donation just because he lived here. He loved this community. He came back for the bicentennial. He was here for Medina Fest. He gave us a donation because he liked the event. That never happens. And I'm so touched that Mr. Brook is here tonight. He drove in from Washington, D.C. to be here tonight for our annual meeting because he loves what we do and he loves the city. Mr. Brook, thank you so much. Thank you. We've had a wonderful year with many triumphs. As we've been sharing tonight, we're going to hear a few more. I'm really excited to celebrate what we've done in 2018. I'm excited to see where we go in 2019 as a program with all the new initiatives that we have. And I'm grateful for your support and for being here tonight. So I want to bring Steve back up for his end of the business meeting, and then we get to the more fun part. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate all your effort and hard work. Keep it up. So we have, as I mentioned earlier, we've got two outgoing board members. So I'd like to ask Randy first and Carole Kowell to join me to the right here. We've got Randy, I think, is finishing his second three-year term, so that'll be 6 years, and Carole the same. Both have been important members of the board, served in a variety of roles, executive committee, board chairs. If Kevin doesn't find the line item, Randy does with respect to budgets. So as a token of our appreciation, we'd like to present these baskets to you. So thank you. Carole. So a special thank you. Kevin was up earlier with Huntington Bank, but Ron Pato's here with Huntington Bank as well. A special thanks to them. They donate space, office space for Main Street Medina each and every year upstairs. If you haven't been there, third floor of the old Phoenix building, their building. So we appreciate that, Ron and Kevin, and appreciate that. Thank you. And last but not least, as you've heard a lot of different thank yous, I mean, we've got committee chairs and volunteers and business folks, and we couldn't do this without you. The mayor's been up. It's been a great year. We're looking forward to 2019, but really this is our chance to thank you, and thank you for coming tonight. Couldn't do it without you. So with that, I have to officially adjourn this meeting before we get to the awards. So do I have a motion to adjourn? So moved. Miss Julia McNabb, back there in the cheap seats. How's the Yingling? How's the Yingling flowing back there? Do I have a second? Mr. Delmar, okay. All those in favor? Aye. Meeting's adjourned. So I will have, let's see here, I'll flip my sheet here. I mentioned Ron Pato, Huntington Bank. He is up next to present the award for the best commercial rehabilitation.
Since its construction in 1872, the two-story brick structure at 17 Public Square has housed such notable Medina businesses as the Albro Dry Goods Store, Kroger's Food Store, High's Office Supply Company, and most recently, Main Street Cafe from 1987 through 2018. When Main Street Cafe owner and local legend Gary Quesada closed the restaurant in March of 2018 after having served the community for 30 years, he turned the keys over to his stepdaughter and son-in-law, Mia and Ryan Rose, to give new life to the historic restaurant space. No stranger to running restaurants, Ryan is the president of Romeo's Pizza, and together, he and Mia set out on a long journey of transforming the formerly dark and Victorian speakeasy into a clean and modern, yet rustic, local gathering place with great food and an outstanding bar. Mia and Ryan are both Medina High School graduates, as is chef Ryan Kassan. The 2018 renovation of this building took the walls back to the 1870s brick, while the stone foundation in the lower level dates back to the 1840s. Much of the interior had to be rebuilt after the discovery of years of water damage. The main dining room now features all new lighting and seating, which were locally sourced and created, yet retains the original tin ceiling and woodwork remains. 17 Public Square has quickly become a favorite local restaurant and bar, and we're grateful to Mia and Ryan for carrying on the tradition. The best commercial rehabilitation goes to 17 Public Square, Ryan and Mia Rose.
Thank you, Ron, and thank you, Ryan and Mia. Next up, I have Sam Petrangelo for our best residential renovation. Sam?
On February 14th, 2014, in the heart of one of the city's historic residential districts, the Medina County Drug Task Force made the biggest methamphetamine lab bust in its history. Agents assisted by Medina Police went to a rental house at 505 North Broadway Street at about 7:30 p.m. to serve 2 arrest warrants. Because meth labs are so unstable, the Medina Fire Department was called to the house to stand by in case of fire or explosion. In September 2016, the home was purchased by the Gowe Leasing Ltd., owned by Jim and Nancy Gowe, who live across the street at 220 Broadway. The Gowes wanted to transform the eyesore property into an asset for the community and their neighborhood. In 2017, they began the arduous task of rehabbing this 1921 two-story home to make it habitable once again. The result is truly outstanding. And every part of the home, from top to bottom, inside and out, has been renovated and updated. Yet the historic character of the home was respected and honored. The home was recently purchased by a young family who are new to Medina and are eager to get involved in the community. Thank you, Jim and Nancy, for your investment and your commitment to preserving the architectural history of Medina.
Jim is sorry he's not here. Okay, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam. Next up, I'll ask Carole Kowell to come back up. We can't let her get too far. Probably should have sat here, Carole. To give us the business of the year.
Okay, thank you. Root Candles, founded by A.I. Root in 1869, has been an institution and integral part of Medina for 150 years. The AI route started the beekeeping industry in our county, in our country as we know it today, which eventually evolved into one of the largest candle companies in the world. Still run by the family, Brad Root is the 5th generation Root to lead the company. The constant innovations in beekeeping, honey production, beeswax, and candle production set Root Candles as a well-respected leader in the industry. Root Candles is also a longtime supporter of Main Street Medina as a major donor with their annual membership, as well as their annual title sponsorship of the Medina Candlelight Walk, and the annual donation of 7,000 votive candles for the luminaries. In addition to supporting Main Street Medina with cash, Root also supports Main Street Medina with personnel as committee chairpersons, volunteers, and board members. In the past, Root Candles supported our fundraising activities by hosting member holiday sales and open houses. When the Medina Farmers Market was looking for a site for the pilot midweek market, Root Candles offered the use of their corporate parking lot, as well as access to electricity. The culture of Root Candles is supportive and giving to the entire community. No matter the ask or need, Root always says yes, and they generously support multiple community organizations in Medina. Thank you, Brad, and to your family, and for all you do for our community, and congratulations on the bicentennial celebration in 2019 of Root Candles. Congratulations, Root Candles.
Thank you, Carole, and thank you, Brad. Next up, I'd ask Melissa Malone from Cocoa Gourmet Artisan Chocolate to present our Volunteer of the Year.
That's me. And Matt would give me the hardest name to pronounce this evening. Thank you, Matt. Okay, Volunteer of the Year, Eric Stasiowski. I knew that. I got that. So we'll just call him E. Was an integral part in the success of Main Street Medina in 2018. He first got involved with the Business Development Committee and then expanded his volunteer efforts and joined the membership committee. Eric was instrumental in helping the membership committee access their current outreach materials and our presence on social media. With his help, the committee published a frequently asked questions about Main Street Medina so that all of our event volunteers would have background information on our program with which to answer questions. He also helped create and roll out the membership campaign, Rich History, Great Fun, Join Us, which was a popular conversation starter as a banner at special events. Eric volunteered numerous times over the season to work the Main Street Medina information table, to sell merchandise, and to be a Main Street Medina ambassador. The membership committee also created a Medina Bicentennial Calendar, as Matt talked about earlier, as a joint fundraiser and membership tool. Eric and his professional team turned the project around from concept to completion in record time. The calendars were hugely popular and helped spread awareness of Main Street Medina. Eric continues to share his time and talent and will co-chair the Business Development Committee in 2019. Congratulations, Eric, on your well-deserved recognition.
You can see why we asked him to join the board this year.
Right? You did a great job on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Are you going to bring those chocolates next year so we can do the thing with the chairs again? That would be good. Next up, I'd like to introduce the man who doesn't really need much of an introduction, Mr. Ed Wright from Miss Molly's Tea Room, to present our Spirit of Main Street Medina Award. Ed? Thank you, Steve.
Well, I'm going to try to keep this individual in suspense till I get through a little bit of this discussion, but you'll recognize pretty quickly who he is, our new Spirit of Main Street Medina for this year. This man has been a key Main Street Medina volunteer since our inception in 2007. He was a founding board member of Main Street Medina and was instrumental in the initial application in 2007 to become a Main Street community. He was a board member of the organization from 2008 to 2014 and served as secretary of the executive committee for the same time period. And he was also the design committee chairperson from 2008 until 2017. He also served on Medina City Council for 14 years, and in that time, he helped pass legislation creating the Medina Uptown Historic District and associated litigation to protect the historic integrity of the buildings and the streets. He has continued to work to preserve and protect the town square, helping secure a $100,000 grant to restore the gazebo and another $20,000 to recondition the Kowell fountain. He served as the executive director of the Medina Community Design Committee from 2005 until 2013 and helped guide the continued restoration of the square and the historic elements. In addition, he is a member of the Uptown Park Advisory Committee, which oversees the ongoing maintenance of the town square. He also heads the City of Medina Archives Commission and was instrumental in coordinating the creation and opening of Medina Town Hall and Engine House Museum, which has received over 20,000 visitors since opening in 2013. He opens the museum every Saturday morning from 10 till noon while we have farmers market on the square, and on Friday evenings in June and July when we have our Medina Community Band concerts. In addition to giving free tours to school children, Leadership Medina people, and other interested groups. For the past 4 years, he served as a volunteer chairperson of the City of Medina Bicentennial Committee. A passionate educator, he partnered with local historians and community groups such as the Friends of Medina Cemetery, Community Design Committee, Friends of Memorial Pool, the Medina City Schools, AAUW, Medina Showbiz, Main Street Medina. He doesn't have much time to do much else, does he? Medina Cable TV and the City of Medina to ensure that the bicentennial was relevant to everyone in the community and that there was something for everyone. He is considered by many to be a living legend in this community for his decades of preserving and interpreting our history and his volunteerism and his numerous organizations. He was recently selected as a recipient of the Cleveland Clinic Medina Hospital 2018 Community Services Award. Please join me in giving this award and congratulating Roger Smalley for this fabulous achievement. Roger?
So we have reached the end here. Again, we appreciate and value the work you do in the community. Without you, we couldn't do what we're doing. And let's look forward to 2019. We're already sort of a month into it. Again, thanks for coming. This is the end of the program, and look forward to seeing you out and about. Thank you.